It's often said a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and it's also often said a small. Let me try this read in again. It's often said to start small and work one's way up from the bottom. We take both cliches and slam them together, as our journey of nearly 1,000 minutes begins with a single lap, starting small, with the Fiat 500 Assetto Corsa trim, and a local favorite small circuit, Calabogie Motorsports Park, just located about 100 kilometers away from Ottawa, Ontario. Our competitors will have to manage traffic, manage tires, manage boost lag, and manage their own pace as we gear up for the first round of the Ontario Time Attack E-Series Season 4, the Super Sunday Super Cup. I'm Josh Cronin here with my co-commentator Jordan Bazukli. Jordan, how are you?
Doing well. Really excited to see the racing today. Obviously, endurance series bring a lot of interesting strategies, interesting racing. It's a lot different than your typical sprint race, where it's always all about all-out speed when you're just doing short sprints. But with endurance races, you're managing your tires, you're managing your fuel. You have different tire strategies and fuel strategies that you're working with, and often it's not all out pace that wins the race, but being quick but consistent is the name of the game. So it's gonna be really exciting to watch these really great drivers shake it out, and yeah, really excited to see what's gonna happen now.
Certainly, I agree. Let's just quickly go over our schedule here for the new for Season 4 of Ontario Time Attack E-Racing, the E-Series. Week 1, obviously, we're here at Calabogie Stadium layout of the Calabogie Motorsports Park in the Fiat 500 Assetto Corsa, which is the race trim. The race is a relative term because that implies it's fast. Week 2, we got Road Atlanta in the Ginetta Super Cup. That should be pretty fun. Week 3, CTMP, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, Canada's legendary home motorsports, and the Seat TCR, the Seat Ibiza. That'll be an interesting one. Week 4, we're doing a bit of a throwback to 1988 Hockenheim in the Mercedes 190 Evo 2. That's the DTM car. Should be a lot of fun. Technically, week 5, but our wild card week. We got the Legends 34 Coupe at Assen TT North. That should be a fun relay
That's gonna be
race.
awesome.
We'll drop some more details as that comes along. That should be a lot of fun. That'll be a non-points round, but definitely be for fun. For the actual week 5 competition, we got the Lotus Exige V6 Cup at Watkins Glen at the boot. Very fun track. Certainly an underrated car that I personally enjoy. I think the drivers will have fun with it. Week 6, we go to Imola, famous Autodrome Enzo E. Dino Ferrari, I believe, Imola. In the BAC or the back mono. Still not sure how to pronounce that, but the back mono should be a lot of fun around there. Week 7, we got an interesting one, a street circuit with Surfer's Paradise and the Roof RT12R all-wheel drive. Car name's a bit of a mouthful, but Surfer's Paradise should be a lot of fun. High speed, and definitely a track nobody really talks about, so I'm looking forward to going to that. Week 8, and with a whole entirely new thing, we go to the Suzuka International Raceway, famously known for obviously for its F1 Grand Prix, in the Formula Agile. This is a fictional car actually made specifically for Assetto Corsa, and it seems to prioritize lightness. It's got some power to it. It's got pretty wide tires, but above all, it's very light. It'll be interesting to see how the drivers handle that. Jordan, did you want to just quickly go over the formatting for every race we've got, the amount of time, the qualifying and stuff that we've got, or should we hop straight into the broadcast?
There we go over that. Absolutely. So, the way the layout works is the drivers do have a half an hour practice session that they're just kind of allowed to run around track, get their feet wet, make sure they're all up to snuff in terms of, the track layout, getting comfortable with the cars, with the setups, etc. They then roll into a 20-minute qualifying session, which they're actually going through right now, and we'll jump to that in a second. And then afterwards, we have a 1 hour, 40-minute race. So the setups are wide open. We'll see different fueling strategies, different tire strategies, but the race is 1 hour, 40 minutes long, and whoever can turn the most laps and end up in the front at the end is the winner of that race. So without further ado, I think let's hop over to the race feed now and watch the drivers go through the last 11 minutes of qualifying.
Just over 11 minutes of qualifying here at Calabogie Motorsports Park. I was really excited to. Well, I guess we should probably to all of our viewers, who I understand are a lot of our drivers, we should kind of explain that. Well, I was in the broadcast booth last season. I've now adopted the role of series director, so I promise I'll try not to talk about myself too much. But let's talk about these drivers. Currently sitting on the poles, Val Di Pietro with a 1 minute 14.3, pretty solid lap time. The drivers, I'm very happy that the drivers seemed to be very proud of, and we had an
Ooh,
accident in
little
qualifying.
little tangle between Nathan there, and
Well, I
it's
mean,
pretty interesting.
it interrupted me. Anyway, the The drivers seem to be very much enjoying the car. It's a typical front-wheel drive car. One of two cars in our front-wheel drive championship for this season. We've got 6 different championships for the entirety of the season. Hopefully to try and diversify the prize pool and also to give drivers who are strong in a certain type of car and maybe perhaps weaker in another type of car a bit more of a fighting chance. Front-wheel drive challenge. Well, obviously we'll go to the driver with the highest points scored in front-wheel drive cars, which we've got 2 of them. The other being the Seat TCR. So definitely for the debut race will be pretty action-packed. You can't win the championship in this round, but you can definitely almost secure it with a good finish in a front-wheel drive car, and you'll at least start your overall championship.
For sure.
Off.
It sets an impression, that's for sure. And it's all about setting impressions on your opening race.
100%. That's why we've also got a rear-wheel drive challenge too for rear-wheel drive cars. Our one all-wheel drive round, the RT12R all-wheel drive. Too long of a car name, is obviously not going to be included in that. Pretty fun. We're going to have some mid-season, throughout the season, random raffles. We'll announce when these are coming out at a future date. We got some pretty good prizes from our generous sponsors. We got Adrena Garage. We got 13 Motorsports, or XIII Motorsports. I'm going to assume it's 13 Motorsports. We got Hit Motorsports, obviously on Terra Time Attack, all of our generous sponsors. We got some pretty fun things to give out. And each one of these championships will come out. Whoever comes out of it on top will receive certainly a prize pack that goes along with it. We've also got a championship for most consistent. This is going to be using our last season's. Jordan, do you want to explain a little bit about how the most consistent is calculated?
Yeah, so essentially what we do is we take all the drivers' lap times throughout the race, their entire lap chart, and taking out essentially the laps that are for pit stops and things where it's, obviously you're not going to count towards your lap total because you're spending time in the pits. Taking all of your on-track laps, add them up, average them out. Whoever has the smallest deviation between their laps being, the most consistent, does get an additional prize, I guess, at the end of the season as well. I believe we had a couple of different drivers last season who were consistent. Thomas Langiel was one of them who's racing tonight, who's currently in 4th place in qualifying. He was very consistent last year, and I think won the most consistent driver title on multiple races last season. So look for him to be a strong contender in that front this season as well.
Yeah, of course. We opted to make the most consistent, or bring back, I guess, the most consistent championship, just to kind of, I guess, highlight and give credit to the drivers who are maybe consistent, just not fast. Because at the end of the day, I would rather have a consistent, and a lot of race teams would rather have a consistent driver than a fast driver. But we have also we've also kind of kept the new guy in mind with our rookie championship. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what the rookie championship is. That's for drivers who have not previously competed in an enduro season. This will only be a couple drivers this season. I believe we have a lot of returning faces, but also this will be going on throughout the entirety of the season. So if you can manage to be consistent and a new guy across the entire season, you can maybe earn yourself a couple prizes, but the reason we've got these spread it out is kind of just to diversify it, and so that a little bit of everybody, people who are good in specific areas, especially luck with the random raffles, will receive some sort of a prize. We've also got a category Drive of the Year. This is 3 different prizes that are awarded on behalf of a panel of people who will just award them to drivers who perhaps maybe had a great comeback drive, a funny or memorable moment, maybe a great pass, maybe a good example of sportsmanship. Just another little bit of basically a fudge factor so that we can hand out more prizes.
Everybody loves prizes, right? That's why you
well,
get
of course, everybody
26 drivers in the series. It's gotta.
I mean, yeah, everybody. We've actually got even more signed up. We have a couple people entered as. I guess we should also explain the points a little bit for this format. We've got 8 races, and the series will feature 1 drop week. So basically, your worst race will not be counted. Just because we all know, life gets in the way. Sometimes people can't make races. Sometimes people just have bad races, and so that'll get dropped out. We do have a couple part-time entries. A couple ones in particular. I think about Laszlo. I think Laszlo's in the session. There he is. He's in 18th. Laszlo is one of the part-time entries. Basically, what that means is our track with our smallest amount of grid spots, that being Surfers Paradise, any part-time entries will not be eligible to race at Surfers Paradise and will not have a drop week because their drop week will be used in place of Surfers Paradise. This is just to so we can ensure that, especially because Surfers Paradise being the penultimate round, we can ensure that any championship contenders or people who maybe have a chance to earn those last little championship spots. Or even stuff like the rookie championship or the most consistent award, will be able to get that done and be able to execute on that manner, especially because the part-time entries were basically anybody who signed up after the first 26. So we want to also reward the early birds with a proverbial worm.
Absolutely. It's 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to qualifying now.
Gonna say.
We have Doug Newman, very fast lap of 1:14.1. Now in the pits, Val DiPietro, second place with a 1:14.3. Michael Caglione, very, very close behind with a 380. And Thomas Langiel with a 381, 1/1000th, separating those two drivers right now in quali. Top five there, closing that out. Joseph Yang, 1:14.577. Nathan Hodgins with a 1:14.6. And then we have Marco Martins, 1:14.710. Michael Koisior with a 1:14.739. Jason Selly, 1:14.773. And Jackson closing out the top 10, Jackson Oliveira with a 1:14.895. A lot of drivers, 10 drivers in fact, our entire top 10 is in that 1:14 window. So very, very tight field, competitive drivers. Even looking at it now, I guess 10 to 20, they're all within the 115s. So, another very tight midfield battle that we're probably going to see on track. So, something to look forward to for sure.
Yeah, I know a lot of the drivers were saying one of the particular things they're having to adapt to with this car is just that it's a front-wheel drive car with a lot of sweeping corners, particularly the decreasing radius corner near the start of the lap that don't quite remember the name of, is, to put it kindly, not friendly to front-wheel drive cars. But it's a fun corner nonetheless. Definitely a challenging corner. Mainly just a lot of the corner complexes that connect at Calabogie tend to really reward drivers who are good at front wheel drive cars. To be honest, because if you brake and turn a front wheel drive car, I mean it'll turn. The issue is it might turn a bit too much. So drivers are gonna have to worry about that, especially over an hour and 40 minutes. From what I heard from some of the drivers, I think Jordan, you were telling me the tires are really falling off.
Yeah,
And
so it's going to
mainly
be
the front. Do you want to
interesting.
elaborate on that a
Yeah,
bit
I'll
more?
elaborate on that for sure. Talking with some of the drivers as they're turning practice laps over the last couple of days in prep for this event. A lot of them were noting, obviously, Calabogie, like Josh was saying, we got plenty of elevation, plenty of reducing radius corners, which is very tricky on front-wheel drive cars, kind of getting them turned into the corner, getting the power down on exit without pushing. You end up roasting your front tires quite a bit. So essentially what the strategy boils down to, what we're going to see. Front tires will last through the first stint for the refuel. They start to fall off around stint 2, and what you're going to see with that is you'll see a lot more understeer into corners. What you're seeing right now, riding along with Gaglione right now, is you can actually see the vehicles in front of them. The car has a very stiff rear end here, very stiff rear anti-roll bar, so it causes it to rotate under corner entry as we see there. So it's helpful for getting the car turned into the corner when you do have front end grip. Once the front end grip starts to go in the middle of your second stint, you're just going to get understeer, and you're going to be plowing through corners, not going to be able to carry any entry speed or speed through the corner for that matter, and really compromise your exit. So it's going to be a interesting call for some drivers, whether they decide to skip tires on their refuel, or they end up taking front tires on their refuel for their second stint to bring them to the finish. We'll probably see a big difference in pace there. Whether or not the pace difference can make up for the extra time for taking tires, we will see. But that's all the fun in endurance racing, the different strategies that we will see and how they kind of play out over the entire race distance. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Cool, a little bit of a traffic jam here.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, somebody's just gone straight, or they were taking pit in. I don't know who that was. Somebody might have been Daniel. Who knows? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Might have not been Daniel. Who knows? Doug Newman on the pole. Absolute Flyer, 114.1.
Yeah, it's a quick lap around here. Really, really no joke.
Got front end damage on it too. I don't think aero particularly matters too much in this car, but it's definitely something of note. He's gonna get passed by Val. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong car. Never mind. I actually don't know what I'm talking about. Washed up commentator.
Yeah, thing with the Settle course that we should, I guess, bear in mind as a disclaimer too. Um, a lot of the audiences, yeah, the broadcast tools are not the greatest. So we do our best with the tools that we do have, but sometimes we'll be a bit lacking information or calling the wrong cars, and definitely having different liveries does not help. So we're doing our best.
I also don't get replays. That's my excuse. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. With qualifying finished up, racers are ready to grid, and the countdown starts. We've got 3 minutes to race start. Doug Newman putting it on pole with a very strong lap time. Val DiPietro close behind in second place, followed by Michael Gaglione, Thomas Langille, Marcos Martins in fifth place, Joseph Yang in sixth, Nathan Hodgins in seventh place. We got Michael Koiser in eighth place, Jason Selly in ninth place. We got Brett Reichert in 10th. Then 11 to 20, we have Jackson Oliveira, Philip J. Oliveira, Daniel Santibanez in 13th. We have Mr. Larson in 14th. We got Walter in 15th. Paul Todd in 16th place. Dimitri up in 17th. Laszlo right behind him in 18th place. Giuliano down in 19th. And we have a newcomer, Gerald Nemberg, in 20th place, followed by Anthony Ho in 21st. We have Brady Carpenter, another newcomer, 22nd place. Randy Zimmer in 23rd. Another newcomer, Alex Milo in 24th place. Another Alex Sherrod in 25th. And finishing up the field, we have Evan Gronke in 26th. That is our lineup. As we wait for the drivers to get ready to go, we will put our camera on the front of the field for the start.
Who's your pick?
Let's see. I mean, Doug is really good on the starts. He does drive a Golf R and had a GTI before that, so he's very familiar with the front wheel drive dynamics in real life on track. So he should be able to get away well, although Val is known to be really fast in these front wheel drive cans as well. So it's going to be a very interesting battle through turn one. And yeah, I guess all the other cars will form a conga line. Hopefully none of the cars get too much wheel spin off the line, which can be a problem in these Fiats, and they get away cleanly.
I'll tell you what. My pick. He's gonna win in his debut race. My man Gerald Nemhard is gonna win this race. He's gonna start 20th. He's gonna go all the way to the front. He's gonna win it on strategy. Dominic Carey's got the iconic yellow and red and white and green and maroon and black Fiat 500 racing colors.
All the colors. It's the rainbow.
He's gonna win this race. He's the iconic 6-colored.
Oh.
I don't know what I know what the tricolor. I don't know
right.
what 6 is.
We
though.
are ready to go. Here comes the lights.
Oh, where'd Walter go?
And we are off. Doug getting a good start. Val getting an even better start. They are side by side through turn one.
Perhaps one of the calmest turn ones we're ever going to see in the series with these absolute rockets.
Oh, very much so. Everyone's kind of forming a nice little conga line. We got a couple 3-4 wide action over there, but everyone's pretty well behaved there so far. So, not doing too bad. Doug going a little wide. Val's going to try to take advantage, but has to close in there. Yeah, field's packed up nice. Michael got a horrible start. He's down in 6th place already. Drop back quite a bit.
Gerald Nemhard took a bit to the grass in turn 2. So through Deliverance, that'll be interesting. See a pretty close battle here around 6th. Spread out. Nathan Hodgins side by side with Joseph Yang. Michael Kozer's going to move over to make a bit of a defensive move. Well defended. Got to get those places on lap 1. Pretty respectful, too. He didn't just drive into him.
For sure.
Side by side. Oh, geez. Please be careful.
We
One
got
of the final
Val and
quarters.
Doug still battling here. Front has kind of spread out a little bit, but a lot of action going on.
Oh, Val's pitting.
Oh, Val is already in the pits.
Val is pitting. Michael is pitting. Did they maybe have a drive-through from the start?
They must. They must have jumped the start. I
He
mean, that
had to.
explains why Val got such a good start.
Val's
Uh,
going to come out in 11th, 12th, 13th.
yeah, he's got his work cut out from him for sure, having to
That's
work
going
through
to
the
hurt.
field.
I can't remember who else got the drive-through. I think it was Michael Koiser coming out in 18th. That's not great. Oh, a bit of contact between him and Paul Todd.
Yeah, we got Laszlo here sitting on board.
Oh, Dimitri's off.
Oh,
Oh,
Dimitri's gone.
might have maybe been some contact there through Brow. Not 100% sure.
Dimitri now
He's
starting back in 25th at the back. Gonna have to work his way back up. I believe Walter did disconnect from the server just at
oh,
the
he's
start of the
back though.
race, but hopefully he can get back. Yeah, he is back on track.
He's
He is a
back. He's
lap
gonna get those
behind.
two. He's gonna get those 2 laps back. He's gonna win the race.
Absolutely, it's gonna happen. We gotta manifest it.
Easily done.
Val in 11th still, getting a lot of heat from the Medcat
Whoa!
guys behind him, getting real sideways there.
Everybody's sliding.
Yeah, let's
Philip
take
look
a
for the
look at
crossover.
Phil right on his bumper.
I'm sorry, these cars look so goofy.
Oh, they're so goofy. Ooh, Brett going a little off road there, and touching the wall,
Also,
little using all the track.
last a little bit of a defensive line through turn 1, defending 15th from Paul Todd and Michael. That's what these low power small cars tend to get a lot of draft packs, or maybe not even draft packs with the Seto Corsa's draft model, but battle packs. Paul Todd's going to go by. Michael's going to follow him through. A little bit of heads up racing from Michael. Laszlo seems to have missed the corner. That's not good. Brady gets by. Anthony's going to get by. 4 places. See, these cars are really kind of momentum cars. If you get thrown offline in these cars,
Yeah,
it really does screw you over.
it's gonna cost you, right? Any kind of wrong move, you lose your speed into corners, or you get a bad exit, and yeah, like you're saying, momentum's gone. Then you're just opening the door for the guys behind you to slip on by. So very, very. That's why these cars are, I guess, used in grassroots racing series. Beyond the fact that they're cheap, they're actually great learning tools. They promote really good driving habits because with more powerful racing cars, hey, I make a mistake into a corner, give it a little extra power, not too much time lost. You make a mistake on corner entry or corner exit in one of these and you run wide, yeah, it's gonna cost you a second. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, those seconds will add up, especially if you keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Jackson looking at the back of Lee Larson seems to get a pretty good run out of the first corner. These kind of multiple apex, just ongoing corners here at Calabogie. Pretty much what it's known for. Tries a dive bomb, does not work. We're an hour and 35 minutes left in this race. Don't be trying anything too risky too fast.
For sure,
Val
gotta bide your time.
Val now looking at the back. Alex Milo has gone off at
Oh,
Brow.
same with Gerald here. They're both kind of dozy and back on track, one
Might have
behind the
been
other.
some contact. There's a bit of damage on Alex's front bumper. And there's a bit of damage on Gerald's rear bumper. So I think that's the proverbial smoking gun
Absolutely.
as
And we
to
got
what
Michael on
happened.
Paul Todd here. Nice little move into this corner here. Outside, inside. Woohoo! A lot of
Whoa!
sideways action. Paul getting onto the grass, I guess, trying to give him some
Oh, look out!
space. And
Oh!
squeezes right in behind. It's some solid door-to-door racing very early on here. Let's take a look at top 4 here. Michael Gaglione on Marcos Martins. Also putting up a little battle here, getting nice and cozy with the bumper. These cars, they are small, but they have excellent visibility. You can race them awfully close together. So it's gonna be very, very fun to watch, I think, over this entire race.
Also, definitely helps that because they're so small, it's pretty easy to go too wide into a corner. You pretty much go too wide anywhere. Lee Larson and Daniel have had an incident once
Oh,
again in
Daniel's
Brow.
having to make his way back on track. Let's take a look back in with Michael again, Mr. Gaglione, getting the move done, maybe running side by side. Think the next corner is a right-hander. He's gonna be outside. Excuse me. And let's see if he can get it done here. Takes a look, makes it stick. Yeah, there's so many switchback corners at Calabogie. He tries the over-under here. Let's see if he can make that stick now. He's got the inside line.
There's almost too many switchback corners. I don't think
Yeah,
you can have too many of them, but it makes the racing real interesting. The only issue is that when you're a race car driver, you don't want the racing to be interesting because that means you can lose your place.
for sure. I mean, we saw it
Like,
right there, right? He did have a lot. He was a lot closer to Marcos through the last sector there before the last couple of corners. Now he's back into Nathan, compromised at his exit, trying to get past Marcos, trying to keep a tighter line and couldn't use as much speed onto the front straight and start finish. So it's kind of reeled him back into Nathan, who is probably getting real hungry right now for that fourth position. Yeah, with all these switchback corners, that's the thing, right? You know, you're inside on one corner, a couple meters later, now you're on the outside line, and you're having to hold your spot there. So it's a lot of back and forth and a lot of jockeying, really, to see who can end up on top. And yeah, with these big front-wheel drive, it's uh, you have that if you're not taking the ideal racing line, your corner exit ain't going to be excellent, that's for sure. And that's what makes them so interesting through traffic.
Daniel Santabena's dropping back through the places. Him and Michael were going side by side. Once again through that corner, they did make contact again. A bit of a more fortunate ending this time. Both cars
Yep. Paul
remaining
Todd
somewhat going
getting
straight line.
really sideways
Oh,
there. That's the second time he's done that, at least on the camera feed there.
100%
Seems to
not
be
the.
coming in a little hot there, and yeah, with
Yeah.
that off throttle oversteer that these things have as their primary driving characteristics in my eyes. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it ain't fast. Let's just say that to take the grass.
That is 100% not the line to that corner. Randy dropping a couple places. Maybe he either disconnected or he might have gone off track, but I think he's back.
Randy's back. Yeah, he dropped a couple.
That's good.
May have had an off. Field's already spread out a little bit. We do have a couple close battles up at the front with Joseph and Nathan Hodgins here battling for fifth place. Joseph Yang very close behind, about 4/10 of a second, and closing that gap. So we'll monitor that throughout the next couple of minutes. Checking in that the leader here, Doug Newman, very commanding lead so far, about 2.2 seconds up ahead of Thomas Langiel. So he's just kind of chugging away, running his own race, and yeah, doing well.
Laszlo getting past Paul for a solid 17th place.
Here's Paul, that corner again. Can he hold it on? Touch a
Oh,
curb and holds it well.
bit liberal on the track limits, but he
He
keeps it
keeps it
going straight,
keeps
which
it
I
out of
guess
the
is
cabin.
fine. I've never heard that expression before, but I'm using that now.
You're welcome.
Hear about the 5 million apex right-hander at the end of the lap.
Gotta
So,
love bogey.
yeah, but the issue is I'm not good at it.
Yeah, me neither.
Joseph Yang trying to move on Nathan. Not gonna work.
Taking a look, Nathan actually seemed to give him a little bit of space on the side there, but yeah, Nathan
Alex
holding him off for now.
Alex Milo has gone off track. I don't know if he was helped or did it on his own. Gonna put Mr. Gronky up ahead. That 498 machine currently running 23rd. Pretty cool looking paint actually.
Yeah, I love that green paint. I am biased on green, of course.
I don't think we're looking at the same car. Did I say that? Oh, I meant 23rd. Whoops.
23rd. All right. Oh,
Oh, that's pretty nice
yes,
looking paint. Bit of an Alfa Romeo thing.
it's beautiful.
Not quite Fiat, but close enough.
Close enough.
Jason's gone off track.
Oh, he was running he was
Why do you
running
do
seventh
that?
before, and I guess gives Val a position. Val's back up into seventh place already, so he's made quite some moves after getting that drive through and seems to be kind of working his way up back to the front of the pack. So we'll see what he can do. Like we were saying, it is a long race, so minor penalties and things. I mean, you don't want them on the opening laps, right? Position is important at the end of the day. But hey, you know what? It's a long race. If you can keep your pace up, you can claw that time back.
100%. Giuliano. I think Daniel might have gotten past Giuliano for 14th. Brady C's trying to move on Giuliano for 15th. Not gonna work. That corner there at Crown, not really a dive bomb opportunity. Well, I mean, you can make a dive bomb, it won't work, but
Yeah, I know. It's
you
just
can
that
try
that
it.
that exit. It's really hard to make it stick come downhill there. You're just loading up the front tires too much and understeers like crazy. Joseph Yang
Nice,
very close to Nathan.
gonna
Still, let's
say,
check in with this.
nice battle here for fifth. Whoa!
Very racy on entry. Seems to overshoot the apex a little bit, tucking around nicely. He's got just really got to focus on getting a good exit out of here, the final corner, and take that momentum onto the straight. How do these things draft? I do not know.
See, if this was not Assetto Corsa, really well, because this is Assetto Corsa, they're all right.
Fair enough.
All right. These, I mean, these cars have about 2 horsepower, so the draft is going to help them. The issue is you're not going to get that draft unless you're really within about half a second, and there's not a lot of places you can be within about half a second to somebody get the draft and get past them around here. I mean, if we were running at the Daytona road course, yeah, you just draft them up the backstreet, you'd dive bomb into the bus stop, but oh, trouble.
Oh, Giuliano. Oh, Giuliano slipping back quite a bit. We also have Jason slipping back again into ninth. Good little battle here with Jackson. Manages to get that position back.
Oh,
But Jackson,
trouble. Gerald makes some contact for 25th.
he
I
spun
think he
around, getting going
went off
again
track, rolled backwards,
in the number 500, Fiat 500.
bumped into the number 498.
Back with
Not
Jackson, Jason. Jackson, ooh, very racy into this corner here. A lot of drivers trying to stick moves in through here. Let's see if we can do the over-under. Ooh. Oh man, Jason pushed wide there, and Jackson just slips on through, and now
oh no.
Jackson's back up to 8th.
Big news though, as Doug Newman, the leader, is now starting to catch lap traffic.
We'll see how this plays out. We'll see how kind the traffic is to him. As we do know, I don't think Assetto Corsa calls out blue flags.
So of course it will call out blue flags. The issue is it's not very good at it.
Fair enough.
Our drivers are using radar apps. Helicorsa or the one built in with custom shaders patch, which will make it quite clear that you are being blue flagged. So of course it will display a blue flag to drivers. The issue is it is quite easy to miss, and it will also sometimes display a blue flag a little bit too early. You don't really need to know that you're getting blue flagged when the guy's about maybe 10 seconds back.
For sure.
But it seems to almost maybe do it. Maybe it's done it based on position rather than pace. It's not weird, but it is nevertheless. It will inform you that you are being lapped.
For sure.
So,
Walter seems to be given a lot of space to Doug there, getting out on the grass, I guess, to let him by. A little interesting blue flag etiquette there, but nonetheless, Doug passes first lapped car. I think Thomas
battle
gets
here
by
for
there as well.
11th. Pretty close battle pack here for 11th. A couple battle packs around the track. We got a battle pack here for 11th, battle pack here for 17th. Oh, Phillips in the pits.
Let's see if he's gonna stop or it's gonna be a. Oh no, he's stopping. It looks like. Wonder if drivers are taking their fuel and tires early.
Stopping.
Wonder where the pit window sits.
Let's see. Wonder how long it's gonna take him. I don't have my timer up, so I can only approximate. This is a reminder to get my timer up. That's a while.
Yeah, he gets going again.
That was probably like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Drops from 9th all the way. Ooh.
Oh, that's a blend line violation.
Yeah, quite better. Should let him know after the race. Be a little easy on pit entry there. Pit exit rather, because yeah.
I'm the series director. I gotta do that now.
Yeah, you definitely have to do that. You have to
reprimand drivers.
Got to discipline them. They gotta know.
Hey, what though, Jason? He's in 10th now. But he's battling Michael. He's within range. He's going through this last corner that he's kind of had some problems with.
Yeah, definitely trying to, I guess, defend positions through there, coming in too hot, trying to hold off, and he's very. The car seems to be understeering quite a bit, taking too much on corner entry, and then kind of trying to power through on exit, and does not like it. That's for sure.
Hey, what key to that corner is you just got to address the corner. You just got to address the corner. That's the best advice I can give him.
Absolutely.
Like, of course, we're going around the lapped car of Mr. Gronky. I don't actually know his first name. Be kind of helpful, though, wouldn't it? We can't do car numbers because it's Assetto Corsa. That's unfortunate. It looks like they're both going to get by. But look who's catching onto the back of Jason. Oh, no! Michael gets hit! No!
Michael gets sent into the weeds, rejoining back in 12th. right next to looks like Lee Larson.
The similar. Oh man, Michael's gonna get helped again by Daniel.
Oh, we have
It's,
another ooh,
oh yeah, it's definitely not fun.
little
But
mayhem.
I mean, you gotta have some interest in the race. Unfortunately, to say that Daniel trying a big move around the outside, keeping the momentum.
See if he
Not
can
gonna
make it
make it
stick.
stick.
Whoa,
That would have been really cool if he did, though.
yeah. Meanwhile,
Brett,
Michael and Lee are side by side, just absolutely giving each other heck.
Brett's
Uh,
taking the scenic route back on
as
track.
one does.
So
Checking in.
slapped cars, proven to be a bit of a hassle for these guys, but I'm sure they'll find a way to get around him. Oh, trouble! Got contact on the front straight. Mr. Gronke dooring Brady. I don't think he saw he was there. It's
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunate.
we do encourage drivers, obviously, to have their spotter running in
True.
Assetto Corsa, as well as things like the radar app.
Whoa! Lee with a switchback. That was incredible. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No
interrupt, but an
worries, but
incredible switchback through Brow. That was remarkable. Just a clean up the inside through Crown, got it done.
you love to see it.
That was one of the cleanest passes I've seen. Suppose now's a bad time to ask you, Jordan. Do you have a replay of this? Are you spooling the replay?
I believe I am
That's
spooling,
fine.
and if I'm
Okay,
not,
that's fine.
then
Somebody will do it.
YouTube is spooling.
It's whatever. YouTube is spooling, yeah, of
YouTube is
course.
technically spooling.
True. YouTubers are replay.
Yeah, no, I believe I am spoiling this replay, so we'll be able to pull it up and
Oh,
get a
there we
whole
go.
highlight reel afterwards. Lee with a crap ton of understeer to the second to last corner there. Still some understeer as Daniel Santibena is going to take advantage and try to parlay that onto some run on the front straight here. Seems to get a much better exit. It's going to be side by side. Maybe can he get the pass done? We will see. Not quite. Just tucking in there. You'll have the inside line into the next corner, going over the crest here.
Ooh, two
L-
wheels in the dirt for Daniel.
little hop and a skip.
Well, he keeps it going straight. That's all that matters. Whoa, way deep into the corner. Daniel might have even perhaps made contact. They both keep going straight.
Daniel
Even
tucks in, gets the move done a little hairy, but nonetheless makes the move on Lee Larson. And, oh, onto the grass now. And,
oh,
all three of them.
oh no,
Oh no, trouble.
no!
What they say
Why
about
did he do that? I hate to see it.
you hate to see it, but as they
Oh,
say when you're following certain drivers, right? You kind of get fixated, right?
yeah,
You can get pulled into the driver that's in front of you who's making a mistake. You'll follow him in there with you. So
you
I think
see a
that's what
monkey
just
do.
happened right there. Yeah, absolutely.
Brett also with a little bit of a bonk with Anthony in 17th. Just no harm, no foul. They just bonked. It was just kind of funny. The insult to injury.
See Michael and Jason here. Ooh, Jason's not making it easy for him. Going to squeeze him towards the inside pit wall. Michael's going to get a nice run out of this corner here onto the inside as Jason pushes a little wide.
Ooh, another crossover.
Whoa! A lot of
But
drivers trying to take that the grass line there, the special line we'll call it.
but can Jason be in a good position for a crossover through here? Maybe. No. Michael taking a pretty defensive line through that corner. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it works. Jason's still trying to get his rightfully earned position 9 back. I'll have to settle for 10th for now. Remember I don't know if we've talked about the points system for this season, which will be used for all of the different championships. But it's quite simple. I just have to find. It's so simple that I have to find it. I found it. That's a real simple point system. First place gets 30 points. Second place gets 29 points. Third place gets 28 points. I think you can follow the pattern all the way down to 1 point for 30th. Anybody below that point does not receive any points. Sorry, but try finishing in the top 30.
Yeah, the idea here is, that 1 point difference, it keeps the battle close over the entire race season. So, it's not as likely for somebody who's consistently, let's say, dominating in first place to really run away from it with the championship, like you would see in, Formula One or otherwise, where, there's a weighting in terms of the score from first to second to third, and there's just kind of more of a gradient in point scale. When you're scoring it in this fashion, just basically allows for a close championship, all throughout the entire season. You can have a couple of first place finishes, but you finish 10th somewhere in another race, that more consistent driver that maybe has a couple of second place finishes instead, he's going to have the points advantage. So it really rewards, consistent good finishes over, let's say, the glory in one race and then, putting it into a wall the next race, right? That's what we're trying to do with this championship. And honestly, it makes things really tight. And this should be a really tight championship right till the end.
I was gonna say this also goes back to the consistency championship for the most consistent driver that we have. That just rewards consistency. If you consistently place well, you'll probably win the championship. That's the nature of it. Do good. Jason and Michael still battling for ninth. Interesting to see how this develops.
Absolutely. Do we have
We've had
some
a
time? Ooh.
pass. Martin's maybe gone wide.
Gaglione gets in front of Hodgins as well. Gaglione now takes the podium position in third place. Mr. Hodgins close behind. Joseph Yang on Marcos Martins. See if he can make it stick. Not quite. Trying to go around the outside there. But he will have the inside on this next corner. Some movement up front here. This is very exciting. And I think Val's actually close behind in this pack as well. Yep. Just bringing up the
Gonna
rear there.
say.
And I'm sure he's looking to make a move here and gain some precious positions back after the jump start and have to take that drive through. Val getting that inside line. Can he stick it on Marcos? Yes, he does.
Woohoo!
Yes,
Real,
he does. Files in, and now it's after Joseph. Val taking sixth place. Marcos having a rough shake at that. Down into seventh after being, I believe, in fourth place for a little while there.
Terrible news. Brett and Brady made some contact through hook. Brett went off. Brady spun on track. Brett spun off track.
Val trying to make it go on the outside. Has the advantage coming in, but he's going to have the compromised line.
There's your two places.
See. Sticks it. Fully sent. Up into fifth place.
Yeah, it's also going to be biting into his tires a lot. We don't know how long those tires are going to be lasting with battles like these. Maybe drivers, Doug Newman. Not sure how his tires are doing. Doing 115, so he's not exactly pushing, but it's definitely wearing out. Thomas likewise, about 150. 115 seems to be about what the leader's doing. Leader's doing a 115.3. Thomas doing a 115.1, catching him slowly. Michael on a 115.4, 115.6 on the way down. 115 seems to be about where it's at. So Joseph Yang's the first driver in the 116s. However, I suspect that's because he was battling with Val.
Absolutely. He's staying close behind. I'm sure he's just trying to kind of get towed along there. Val's obviously has the pace to match the leaders here. So Joseph's probably just kind of going to settle in. Try. Oh,
whoa!
Monkey see, monkey do once again. Joseph following Val there, but doesn't lose too much time. So hopefully he can just stick behind Val, like I was saying, and try to maintain that sixth position for now, and just get stuck in. And maybe it's pit strategy that does it for him. Maybe it's a late race move, but for now it's just kind of get to the rhythm and turn in some good quick laps and see where it takes you.
Brady's passed Randy for 19th. Still going to get some good points. Oh, Alex Milo has gone off track
on the grass again. Once again.
No.
Down to 23rd, rejoins, past this little pack. It looks like that was the pack of Val and Joseph that got past in there before rejoining the track. Jason and Michael battling it out still. They're still 4/10 apart from one another.
Doug Newman putting on a pretty good race. Going to lead once again another lap here at Calabogie Motorsports Park.
Absolutely. Going to check in with Val, sticking it in on Nathan. Gets the pass done.
It's done.
Got somebody off-roading there.
Oh, he hit the wall.
Touching the wall there.
Bonk.
Big bonk.
And continuing.
Alex Sherrod, rather. Get back going again.
Alex and Alex show.
Absolutely.
Val's now getting another one.
Focused on chasing Michael Gaglione down for third place and getting that podium position back.
Val with a pretty good comeback drive after he had that drive-through penalty earlier. Philip up into 20th. Oh, he's going off track, but he's still in 20th.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, Philip
he's going to blow the corner, so never mind.
Quite early, having a little off-road adventure there, but yeah, Philip did have to take a pit stop quite early. So he has been to the pits once.
Wonder what he stopped for.
I don't believe
maybe
any
it was
other
the
drivers
fuel
pitted.
stop.
So
Maybe
I
it was a fuel
imagine
stop.
it must have been a fuel stop.
Oh, you know what it might have been? I have a very suspicious theory, and I mean this with no insult or ill intent towards Phil, but he might have left qualifying fuel on it. That
Ooh,
sucks.
yes. If that's the case, then that does suck. We'll have to ask him afterwards and
Hey,
see
well,
what's
let's
wrong with
ask
that.
him right now. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, we're gonna ask him. We're gonna find out. We need answers. Luckily, here at the OTA commentating booth, we have direct access to the drivers' chat as they talk smack to each other and have a little fun with each other, whatnot, in their relative Discord chat. So we can jump in
Phil,
there whenever we need some insight.
Phil, you're here in the booth.
Hello.
Did
Welcome,
you
Phil.
forget to Did you forget to add fuel after qualifying?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
That's all we wanted to know. We were like, why
That's
is he in the
all
pit so early?
I
What's
meant
the
to
pit
know.
wall
Oh,
like?
Brett getting into Dimitri. Brett going way off track.
Brett is into the weeds.
He is in a different postal code. Brett taking a tour down. That was, I think, the most off track I've ever seen somebody go. He just kept going.
Now Philip
I
was
was like,
20th
oh,
with
okay.
that gift from Brett there.
Oh, huge news! Walter is now in 25th and not 26th after coming back from his disconnect rather than his penalty.
Very impressive.
Shout out, Walter doing 117 lap times. Marco and Joseph going at it.
Phil and Randy
Let's go.
actually here. Phil taking a look.
There we go.
Taking a look on the inside. Can he stick it? It's big send. Getting the car a little unsettled, but holds it, and that's a nice little move into 19th place.
Get Jordan by the way, the broadcast doesn't have race audio.
I will take a look at that.
Give the people sound.
We should have sound now.
Yes, hang on. Yes, we have sound.
Beautiful. I can't
Yes,
believe
we are
didn't
now
have
a
sound
professional
for
broadcast.
an 30 minutes. The entire
Terrible
30
news.
minutes.
Terrible news to report. As the series director for Ontario Diamondback E-Race Season 4, Jordan has been fired from being in the booth.
Oh,
I'm just joking.
I am awful.
No, you're still here. No, you're fine. It's all right.
What do they pay me for? Wait a second.
They pay you $1 million per race for a reason.
Absolutely. Got quite a few close battles on track still, actually. Paul
Yeah.
Todd and 16th on Anthony here, coming to turn 1, 2 area. Got Jason and Michael for 9th place, and Joseph and Marcos for 7th and 6th. Let's sit in Paul here. Sending it on the outside, but it's going to cost him his corner exit and can't make it stick. But Anthony running wide here. Let's see if he can stick his nose in. See these switchback corners. You got to do the over under, or you can't do anything at all. It's just a lot of patience and ensuring the driver in front of you leaves you some space, or you force him to leave you some space. But either way, it's the only way to really get past them around here.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with... Basically, in this series, we just don't want to see people intentionally taking people out or throwing bad moves like that. At the end of the day, I mean, forcing a mistake is an entirely valid move. If you force somebody to take a defensive line through a corner and it compromises them, or they make a defensive move...
Anthony
Oh,
getting
speaking of
all out
mistake...
sorts.
Speaking of mistake... I was
Very
actually... That's why I stopped talking for a sec, because I was watching him and I was like, oh, he's like actually wrecking. Lee Larson's in the pits. Interesting. Oh, I gotta pull my stopwatch up. Let's time these pit stops.
So let's take a look. Lead now in the box. We'll see when he gets out. I will jump in on the action. We got quite a bit of action on track here. Daniel Santabanez on Jason Selly for 10th place.
7-second stop, interestingly enough.
Interesting. Must be for fuel. So that's going along. Got a lot of movement, I guess, with the cars coming in and out of the pits. We got Brady on Dimitri.
Battling
Here.
Vince Welch impression.
I'm actually going to jump in with Val.
Val is in second.
Him and Mike. Ooh, that was good timing. Val sending it on the inside. Gets the
third
job done. And now he's up into that podium place. But, I mean, we know Michael. He's not going to let it go without a fight for sure. So we will see Val taking a very wide line from there.
I mean, what a drive. What a drive. Just to come back from that drive-through penalty. Lost a lot of time, work his way back through the traffic up to third.
Absolutely. And I mean, in all honesty as well, right? Coming back kind of mid-pack. Not only has he had to deal with passing cars that are on his lap, towards the podium. You know, you're dealing with lap traffic at the same time that you're trying to go through cars that, you know, you're racing for position. So it really mixes things up, makes it a lot more challenging for sure. But I mean, seemed to get the job done well. And Val is
we got
third.
We got pit stops.
Yep, Randy and Anthony Home now in the pits as well. Soon to have taken fuel. We'll have to see how long their pit stops are. I assume if they're longer than seconds, it's probably them taking tires as well.
I'm in it right now. I'm in Anthony's stop. I'll tell you it's longer.
Daniel as well, once again, giving each other the business. Daniel's going to try to look on the inside, doesn't get it done, but let's see what happens around here. Jason's been pushing this corner very deep, especially his tires where it gets onto the dirt a little bit. Daniel's looking very racy behind him, trying to get past here there.
Anthony's stop was 22 seconds.
Must have taken tires.
Sounds, well, it could also be a full tank. I don't know. Alex is in the pits. Is this maybe the end of the fuel window? People trying to two-stop, maybe?
I wonder. I mean, I wonder if there's other.
Alex just missed his pit box.
Took a little too much fuel as well. Or sorry, too little fuel to start. Could add something up play for sure.
Brady coming down pit road. Huh? This is interesting. I was told they were only going to have to stop once for fuel. We're not at the halfway point.
Well, I guess it depends on the pit window. You know, whether or not, you know, let's say a full tank of fuel would get you like an hour and 10 minutes in an hour 40 race. You know, you can take it two ways. You run your tank dry, or you come in early when your tank still has maybe 20-30% fuel in it, and then fulfill again to go to the end. Some drivers prefer to, especially with these front-wheel drive cars, do that, go that route, especially because the fuel tanks are in the back of the car. What ends up happening is as the fuel tank lightens up, you get a lot less stability in the rear. So they'd rather take that fuel earlier in the race and then just run it dry at the end as the tires wear down. Typically you get more understeer at the front and it balances out the lack of weight over the rear tires in terms of strategy. Jason in the pits as well as Michael Poyser as well. So I think we have cars coming in for their stops now, and the field's going to shuffle up quite a bit.
Both cars pitting around my car. Dimitri's in the pits. Somebody else left pit road. I didn't see who that was. I wish them good luck. Todd. Bill's going to pass everybody on pit road up in the 12th. Michael's down. Jason's down. Seems about in line with our 20-second stop theory, so maybe these guys are stopping early. But there's no way that, and I mean this in the nicest way possible to a driver, there's no way that every single person is filling early to keep the fuel in their tank. This has to be, I hope this might actually be the fuel window. Remember, these cars are not endurance racing cars. These are Feeder Series. Whoa, Brett going way off track. Gets all crossed up. Oh no, Jason gets taken out by a lapped car. Oh no.
Who do we have there? That's Jason, and I believe he's not sure.
No.
Oh, that's Evan Gronke there.
Oh man,
tangled up. Fortunately, it looks like can't tell if he's parking it or trying to rejoin here. He's gonna have to do so slowly and try to find a window. A lot of cars in the pits should be a little easier in terms of traffic on track. Does get it going again, and should be okay there.
Daniel's in the pits, predicted to come out in 20 seconds. Let's see if it's an accurate prediction. Also could be my timing glitching. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, the fuel is shifting around. Philip, you know, now up into 10th place after that little pit stop blunder there. There's other drivers pitting. He still has a fuel tank. Although we do know he is gonna have to pit again.
That might have worked. That might have worked out for him though, because if he had qualifying fuel and he had only to stop with a couple of laps, those couple of laps might be what he needed.
For sure. No, so now we have the leaders all in the pits.
Everybody's in the pits. Top 5 are in. I suspect Jackson and Joseph are going to come into the pits too.
Yep, so Doug, we have Thomas, Val, Michael, and Nathan Hudgens in the pits. Nathan takes first place in the race just by virtue of how far his pit box is ahead. Doug now exiting the pits,
Jackson in the pits.
Back into the lead. Thomas going close behind. And that's how Bloodline is done by Doug there. It's a textbook.
Joseph Yang has still not pitted. He's out on track. He's going to probably take 4th here. He's going to be racing Nathan out of the pits.
Nathan is coming out of the box.
Don't think it's going to be a contest. Oh, it might be.
It might be Joe. Oh, yeah, Joseph's got the run. I think he's going to take 5th place. Yeah, he does. Let's watch the corner entry here.
It might even lose 6th as Marcos Martins comes through. He's going to get it. Oh, Marcos maybe overshooting the corner.
A whole lot of sorts there. A little bouncy house action.
He's a little bit of the curbing. My pick is in the pits. Gerald Nembhard. We're on a solid P22.
Giuliano now in the pits. Should drop back to the position there. So now we have the leaders pitting. Should settle in now. I guess the standings now for the most part. It seems that
a little bit.
The pit window here with around 3 minutes left.
Whenever you get a wave of pit stops, it usually actually spreads the field out quite a bit. Doug Newman currently has a 1-second lead, and even then, it's still 5.5 seconds back to Val in 3rd.
For sure. I mean, Doug had a much more commanding lead before the pit stop, so it seems that Thomas either had much quicker pit entry, much quicker lap, or just maybe didn't get tires or took less fuel or something. But either way, big net gain from Thomas there on his pit stop, and now within a second to Doug. Val actually had a good gain from that as well. 6 seconds down the road from Thomas. Gilles, I believe he was about 7 or 8 before pit stop as well. So closing that gap as well. I'm sure he's going to be fighting for that position for P2 or even win towards the end of the race.
Yeah, he would have been. I don't know if I was keeping track, then yeah, I can confirm or deny that. But
for sure.
Regardless, we got a real close battle here for 5th between Joseph Yang and Nathan Hodgins.
Absolutely.
These guys have been going at it for a couple laps.
It's been raging, for a long time. This 5th position has been a contentious one this entire race.
Tell you what, though. I don't know, actually. I don't know what I'll tell you.
We got
We're at Calabogie.
Fiat 500 fun fact.
Do you have a Fiat 500 fun fact? I would gladly discuss them.
I do have a Fiat.
You have huge news. Stop the press. Paul Todd has set a new personal best of 1:15.014.
Zoom in. That is a solid lap time from Paul. That's right on pace.
Oh, it's a shame he got a really bad paint scheme.
Yeah.
That's the nature of it's the rule of the Ontario Time Attack E-Racing Season 4 Super Sunday Super Cup, to give it its full name. Is you receive the paint scheme that you are dealt.
Yes.
And Lady Luck has drawn him a bad hand. That is one of the worst paints I've ever seen. Actually, I can think of an even worse paint. Hang on, let me identify what driver it is.
That's pretty.
Where is he?
That's pretty.
My pick, Gerald Nembhard. Gerald Nembhard, great guy. But I'll tell you what, he really got screwed over with that paint. That is one of the worst paints I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's quite awful.
No disrespect to
the developers of Kunos and Gerald getting off track there a little bit.
No disrespect to a Bart, because they painted that. But I mean, really?
Yeah, let's jump back in with Marcos here and Nathan. Joseph's got a bit of
that's a good paint.
But yeah, that orange, it's eye-catching. You do have the little tricolore there.
Joseph's also got the.
It's classy.
Joseph's also got the iconic Golf paint. I mean, I cannot think of a famous Fiat 500 that ran a Golf paint, but
Golf paint, all the things. This is
gotta cash in on that. If your paint is not a Marlboro, a John Player Special, or a Golf car, you're doing it wrong. Apparently. Alex is going off. Whoa! Oh, how could I forget about Martini?
Alex seems to be having a rough go. Kind of yielding for traffic there. Kind of awkward on the inside, but gets it going again. He just kind of keeps chugging along there. Marcos getting quite the run on Nathan here. He's going to take a look on the inside. A lot of passes being done through this first couple turns of this complex here.
It really is a good corner for it.
Marcos touching that inside curb, getting a little loose, but holds it well, and that's 6th place for Marcos Martins ahead of Nathan Hodgins.
Evan runs wide in the background. Gets clear of it. Those guys had a bit of a fun time getting through both lap traffic cars there. It's given Joseph a little bit of breathing room.
Absolutely.
Always helpful in the middle of the race. The middle of the race always seems to be the worst part because you're not close to the start, so your tires are worn. You're not near the end, so you're not motivated to push to gain positions. So
you just set in and you're just trying to win traffic, basically. Back to the Fiat 500.
Let's go with these fun facts. I want to hear these fun facts.
So the new Fiat 500, as it were, was produced, started in 2007. It is still being produced.
Really?
The original generation. It got a facelift in 2016, but it is the original generation vehicle still being produced today. which is
Unfortunate.
incredible. You know, a 13-year lifespan on a new car these days is pretty bananas. I'm trying to think. I think the only other car that's that long in the tooth, at least in North America, it's got to be another FCA product. Probably one of the Challengers and Chargers. That's around the same time too. Probably 2008 for the Challenger.
Are you implying that they are not evolving?
Perhaps. I mean,
Is it an ain't broke don't fix it thing, or is it something else?
It's a Mopar or no car kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's go. Also, I guess the cars that these these racers are driving, the Fiat 500 Southern Course Edition, the Martin 500 Southern Course Edition. Excuse me for it.
Wow.
It does have it's a special edition made for racing and was unveiled at the 2008 Paris Motor Show. As a limited production model, they made 49 cars of the production version of this vehicle, rated at 200 horsepower, so a big little bump over the factory Abarth vehicle. Has the ultralight racing wheels, the racing mirrors, and a number on the side.
Racing
a lot of fun
mirrors.
stuff. Yes, racing mirrors.
They look normal.
They look normal to me too. I don't know who was smoking one at that Fiat factory, but I'll have some of that.
Oh, Thomas has pulled off. At a second, he towed to the pits. Where'd he go? Why did he do that? Did he run out of fuel? What happened?
I wonder. Do we drag him into the booth while he waits?
Let's go find out.
Let's go find out.
Thomas is now here in the booth. Thomas, what happened, buddy?
It's not a good time. First the motor went red or orange, and then second time it blew up. Now I got to here for 200 seconds.
I'll tell you
so
what.
it's over.
Well, that sucks. How do you want your first race to go? Thanks for coming out, Thomas.
No problem. We'll come back next time strong.
Alrighty, good luck, buddy. Is it over? It will not be fixed?
It'll fix in 200 seconds. See what I can claw back, but we'll see.
Well, see what you can do, buddy.
Absolutely, still a lot of race left. I mean, 55 minutes. So, I mean, your pace has been strong. So I guess it's just gonna be working traffic and see what we can end up with.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, don't downshift too early. That sucks. That is not how you want to lose second place.
Absolutely not. With that, I guess Val pack up into his original qualifying position.
Yeah, there. Val's back up in a second.
Order has been restored, I guess.
By a miracle of God or at something else, Val always seems to get his place back.
Absolutely. He's one lucky guy, that's for sure. Field is spread out quite a bit more. Closest battle we have on track right now, 16th and 17th, respectively, and I guess 15th as well, in a nice little pack here. Now 15th and 16th and 14th, because Thomas is still waiting for his pit stop. We got Giuliano, Dimitri, and Paul Todd, respectively, all run a nice little pack here, join each other along. We'll monitor this battle as well as it progresses. Another battle on track for 12th. We got Jason on Laszlo here. Jason's had a bit of a rough go with this car. Really is just trying to manage the traction and has kind of come in a little hot in certain corners. Cost him a couple places, you know, just running wide, and other cars just seeing the window open on the inside and taking advantage. So, you know, his pace has still been pretty good. So we'll see if he can kind of shake off the cobwebs and pull on a little comeback here. So we'll see how that goes as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Jason's still holding his hold. Paul Todd battling Dimitri in 15th. He's gonna do something. No.
Let's see. You know, pretty much settling in. I think the drivers are at that, like you said, at that stage where you're kind of halfway through the race. I mean, you try to have a look and see if you can, you know, be advantageous of certain mistakes of the driver in front of you. But pretty much, you're not going to try to do anything too brave. You're going to settle in. You know, just try to stay in the drivers that's in front of you that you're battling position for. Just stay in his mirrors. You know, keep the pressure on and maybe force him to do a mistake, force him wide, and then just kind of squeeze past him then. You know, obviously if you're stuck tangling for a position, both drivers are going to end up losing quite a bit of time. and it ends up hurting you in the end. So it's almost better to just settle in, let the race come to you. You know, if he makes a mistake, then great. If not, then all good. Paul going a little over the special line there and onto the grass, following Dimitri there. But yeah, he moves along. Lee getting past Giuliano, kind of side by side.
Whoa, a little bit of contact.
A little bit of contact. Both
Giuliano
well.
getting those elbows out.
Absolutely. Lee was on the outside there on that corner, so allowed Dimitri to close up quite a bit. Let's see if he's going to shut the door, push wide, pushes way wide, and Dimitri does too. Whoa. Onto the grass. As Paul Todd, I think, Paul's the big winner out of that, gaining 2 positions there, as Dimitri and Lee end up having quite a bit of a blunder there with the understeer.
Doug Newman, the race leader, getting around those two, taking advantage of it, going 3 wide. That's the advantage of having a car so small.
Absolutely.
3 wide around the incident to get by.
Jason and Laszlo once again. Ooh, Laszlo taking a lot of that inside curb, and that cost him dearly there. That cost him that position, hand over fist, and yeah, now a full second behind almost of Jason Telly, who I'm sure is glad to be back in 11th after applying so much pressure to Laszlo for the last couple laps.
Settling in the midway point of the race. The action's still happening, though.
Absolutely. Daniel here.
And Philip.
Philip, very, very close contention. Philip taking a tidier line. I imagine this is going to help Daniel's exit, though. Seems to be the case. Daniel's going to get the run there, no question. Taking the more proper racing line and filtering in right behind Daniel. And we'll need to see some lap traffic in front of that. Getting a little of sorts there. Wonder if there was contact with the lap traffic there.
Lap traffic does not seem to be playing into anybody's hands.
Absolutely not.
This round. I mean, it usually doesn't, but sometimes you do manage to get an advantage out of it. You use it as a pick.
For sure.
Lapped cars, you can use it as part of defense.
Absolutely, just like in basketball, right? You just stick a man in front of him, and, make him choose a side. That's the way it goes, right? I mean, we've seen a lot with racing. I've done that in the past too, right? You get your kind of battling for the lead. Lap traffic approaches. You're kind of in an awkward spot in the middle of the track. Don't know where they're gonna go. You got to pick a side, and sometimes you get lucky. Lap traffic works out in your favor, and you end up slipping in for the lead. And sometimes you picked wrong, and you end up being the one compromised. So very interesting how that all plays out. As I believe that's the lap traffic now. That's Philip actually ducking into the pits.
Now, yeah.
Imagine that's for his second and final pit stop.
Well, I mean, he's still got 50 minutes left, and he's already stopped twice. I don't think he'll quite be able to make it to the end on fuel, but I mean, who knows? Dimitri and Giuliano now battling 14th. They're all going to get by Phil when he's the pits.
Absolutely. Dimitri getting a decent run. Giuliano's protecting the inside, but we'll see what happens. Fine if you can stick it really well to turn 1 there and keep it on the inside, then you can get a be brave, I guess, through this little set of corners. You get a really good entry, as Dimitri demonstrates beautifully. If you can trim speed down, tucks it in, gets it done. Now onto the slow corner, and nice little move there for 13th place for Dimitri on Giuliano there. Really well done. I'm sure Giuliano's going to be fighting for that position back, but great move by Dimitri there for 13th place.
Bill out to the pits now in 16th, which got passed by Michael Gaglione in 3rd. So lap traffic definitely intermingling with the classes.
Closest battle still Giuliano here. We're gonna stick in on the cockpit here, see what he can do. Dimitri taking a very interesting line on the inside there. Kind of tucking in, missing the apex. The understeer, I'm sure, is really starting to get to a lot of these drivers, as is Giuliano here. You can see as Giuliano kind of pushes wide there through the second to last corner. He ends up kind of in the middle of the track for the left-hander. And forces him obviously to kind of have to use a lot more steering angle to get through that final corner. With that, it really compromises your exit, and with that in mind, obviously you can see Dimitri's been able to drop him quite a bit versus the last entry in the last sector there. So it's all about managing your understeer, managing your corner entry, trying to use as much of the track as possible if the track is available to you. As we see Dimitri, not using all the track and kind of sticking center.
Missing the corner.
Juliano can claw back. Seems we got, I think that's Val. Yeah, so Val's getting through now. That is 14th place. So, and going towards Dimitri here. So Dimitri is the next person to be a lap down there. So it looks like the leaders are really starting to get through the thick of the midfield now.
Yeah, I mean, Doug Newman clearly just going around with Laszlo here in 11th. Waiting his chance. The downside to these not being power cars is that it's a lot more difficult to get around lap traffic, but he seemed to negotiate it quite well. Laszlo running the inside line.
Absolutely. I mean, usually in cars like this, it's always good etiquette if you are, a lap down, let's say, and you have leaders battling for position. You're kind of stuck in, and you're not battling for position yourself. When you get to straight or an ender straight, a little lift, let the lap car by, and you just kind of resume your race. It just makes everybody's life a lot easier, right? As the person kind of doing the lapping, you don't want your race to be ruined from lap traffic, and being lap traffic as well. You don't want to potentially cause issues for the race leader, right? You guys are both running your own races, so you just kind of want to have the transaction done as smoothly as possible and go on with your respective races. And clearly we saw good etiquette there from Laszlo there, and getting the job done.
As we were talking there, Anthony, bit of a moment in the final corner. Off track, got it going again. He's running 18th, Giuliano and Dimitri battling for 13th. A little bit of battling all throughout the field.
Yeah, there is some, being almost an hour into this race. Obviously still some very close battles on track. Giuliano's going to have a bit of an edge here, but see once again pushing wide here, having to go all the way around for the final corner. Dimitri's just going to pull away from him once again. Getting a much better exit out of the final corner. Given the amount of switchbacks around here, it's so key to really try to focus on maintaining momentum through the corner, getting good corner exit. Giuliano getting on the grass there a little bit, keeps it straight. Some traffic up there on the grass. Looks like Dimitri now very close to Paul Todd, looking for 12th place there. I'm going to check up there. Is that?
Evan. Talk about the lapped car?
Yeah.
Lapped car. Oh no, Paul Todd losing it. Saves it. Lapped car is proven to be a hassle.
Who is that lapped car?
That is Evan.
Alright, so it's Evan. Rocky there, 25th.
Common denominator in a lot of lap traffic battles here today. Not with a particularly good showing.
Yeah, seems to slow and try to take the outside there with these lead lap cars through.
There he goes.
It's not lead lap, but I guess the lap ahead cars rather. And
battle for fourth.
He's going to get a good exit here. Let's go into the battle of fourth. Marcos and Joseph keeping each other company for a little bit here. Marcos obviously being able to claw back a little bit of time, 2 tenths in the last lap.
Yang holding him off through turn 1.
Nice.
Marcos probably going to look to the inside.
Yep.
Seems to be the
really good run. He's within a 10th now. Who's braver?
Seems to be the line of the day through this corner.
A lot of passes
Marcos
going to
get by.
Marcos clipping the curb but keeps it tidy. Joseph's going to have to look at the outside. I'm sure he's going to have to filter it now and try to do it over under something. All these switchbacks, man, really mixing it up. Marcos seems to make it stay.
Hey, what though? Marcos said not the backseat drive. Marcos had maybe driven through that corner a little bit more, but he was clear of Joseph. Could have denied that chance of the look around the outside, but that's hindsight, and hindsight's 20/20.
Absolutely. I mean, Joseph's still very close within 10th as well. So I mean, it's anybody's game still. Very aggressive through that sharp right-hander there, and this last couple set of corners here.
Definitely a cheeky move you can do, but 100% within the regulations to kind of defend like that. As long as you're basically not blocking or making deliberate contact, you should be fine.
Absolutely.
So there's nothing wrong with making a move and hopping back on the dominant line.
For sure. Joseph getting a better exit than Marcos, but only marginally so. I'm sure the lap traffic there didn't help Marcos' case. They're both going off the grass there. Monkey see, monkey do once again. I think that's going to help a lot this series.
Absolutely. Yang running a bit wide, not able to get to the apex because of that lap traffic. Still going to hold the 5th, misses the corner again. Nathan.
Yeah, this is really going to hurt him in his battle against Marcos here for 4th place. You know, he was a 10th behind entering turn 2, turn 3 there, and now almost a full second now at this point. So, you know, that's the thing. Those are the breaks with lap traffic.
Big news. Proud to announce that Thomas is back out on track.
Beautiful. Thomas rejoins 24th. So, I mean, really rough luck for him after starting pretty high up in the field and, you know, having a solid 2nd place race. Just, you know, I guess that's the thing with endurance races, right? Can't break your engine.
Yeah, endurance pro tip: do not blow up. Funny how that works. Look at the car that Thomas is running, the level 1 car. It's a pretty cool looking car. It's a cool logo too. The level 1 logo on the side of it.
It's pretty.
Oh, look at that.
That is pretty sweet. Love that.
Drivers are lifting a wheel going through these last couple corners. Tell you what.
Philip on Giuliano now. Philip clipping a lot of curb on the inside, and I think that's gonna. Ooh, contact!
Oh no!
Contact. Both of them make it out okay. Banging doors. Still banging doors.
Still banging doors. Marco's gonna have a look.
Philip is gonna. Can he make it stick?
Marco's
like
trying to get
inside
through.
there. Oh
no!
Giuliano getting pushed.
Marco's trying to get a bit greedy.
And I think
gonna lose 4th. Might even lose 5th.
Yeah, looks like that's the case. Marcos falls from 4th down from the 6th place, tucking in behind Nathan there. We'll have to see after the race what happened there with that contact. But it looks like he, like you said, got a little greedy on the inside there, and just had some solid contact with Giuliano. Giuliano, you know, smart enough to remember the car's front-wheel drive, and hey, you know, when in doubt, throttle out. Away she goes.
There you go.
And that's it. He keeps it straight. And,
Point nose, apply gas.
exactly. Keeps it in 15th place. With Philip now up in 14th, creating a little bit of gap here. Marcos, I'm sure, not going to go down without a fight. And we'll see this battle for 4th place continue to progress towards the end of this race. We got a time for some more Fiat fun facts.
Oh, of course, just over 41 minutes remaining in the race. Might as well crack through them.
Let's crack through them. So, the trim levels for the Fiat 500 in North America are as follows. We have the Easy, the Pop, Sport, and the Above. They also came with a special Gucci edition vehicle that had Gucci, I guess, emblems on the side of the vehicle, some specific interior trim, leather, and whatnot, and very Gucci-fied. The official chariot corporation is everywhere.
I was like, one of the worst automobiles ever created.
Yeah, it's up there. Marcos, big send through that corner, and a lot of oversteer action.
We're still side by side.
And
Side by side for like half the lap.
pretty nuts. Sticks it on Nathan, although Nathan's gonna get a decent run into here. Let's see. I think he pushed a little bit on corner exit, but no, it's gonna cost him there. He's starting to fall back a little bit, although I'm sure this battle's gonna keep raging on throughout this lap. Giuliano and Marcos again having a little look at each other. Pretty interesting, those two. I'm sure they're gonna have some words for each other after this. Give that Giuliano's lap traffic. I mean, obviously, drivers are keeping in line with each other. You know, a lot of these guys are racing on single monitors, field of vision, versus racing real car. You can't head around. You're only basically looking. I mean, basically, what's a small window into the virtual world, right? So when you're sitting in your car, you can see in front of you, barely you can see your rear, let alone the cars that are beside you. So that's why we encourage drivers, like we said before, you know, have your Heliforsa or your spotter on, which basically just give you a better indication of which cars are alongside you, and keep your relative on in terms of the distance as well. cars around you really helps as well. So that you can just keep an eye on things and make sure you're racing clean.
Yeah, pretty much. Summed it up best.
Marcos on Joseph here. Marcos with a very strong 1:14.8 lap time last lap. Looks like he's going to have a look on the inside now. This move has been very popular over this entire race. It looks like it's going to continue to be that way right up until the end. Marcos going to stick it on the inside. Should be easy peasy for him. Grabbing a little bit of that curb, but no matter. He gets the job done. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more back and forth between these two guys, like we've already had over this entire race so far.
Race kind of currently at the point where we're just ongoing. Still got some battles though. Joseph Yang gonna get 4th.
Yeah, right along
kind of
Joseph.
It's kind of been the battle of the race. Kind of just been going on, ongoing. Evan is in the pits.
I mean, they've been tough but fair. You know, not giving each other an inch, but at the same time, making sure that each other has the racing space. So you know, it's been a lot of back and forth. Joseph's going to get a good exit out of here, and let's see if he can, oh no, I think he had to lift a little bit. It seemed that was the case. We'll see if he can get some of the stick on the inside here, as he's now well within the draft range here. Pushing outside there a little bit. I think Marcos is going to get helped along with, that's Philip there. Yeah, so we'll get helped along there, and that'll make it much easier for him to protect that inside line in this corner.
Whoa!
Joseph Yang, more contact.
Oh no, they're still wrecking.
And Marcos Martins
Everybody's
onto the grass.
Nathan gives Yang a bump. Everybody hitting everybody through that corner.
Absolutely.
They're all still going straight.
Lap traffic is, it's been contentious this race. Very, very contentious. I mean, hey, these Fiats, you know, you can bang doors with them all day long. They don't mind it. I think once we get to the open wheel cars, though, it's going to be a whole different story. No question.
Yeah, 100%, especially with the Seto Course's physics model. What tends to happen is the suspension parts will just hook each other.
Yeah, it's full yeets. Full yeets.
Yeah, pretty much is about how I describe it. Open wheelers will be a lot of fun, especially because the open wheelers tend to be faster.
Absolutely.
Battle here for 10th. Battle here for 4th, actually. They're still battling.
Yeah, it's they I mean, honestly, not giving each other an inch. Marcos now back up into contentions once again. I think just trying to get around Philip here, but you know, just trying to get the space in the room. Philip not making it easy for him, but he's going to have the inside line here, and then he can get it done. I don't know, did Joseph have an issue there? He seemed to have lost quite a bit of pace, and now he's dropped back to 6th. Marcos inheriting 5th place. Kind of
Larson in
fell
the
back there.
pits. Larson in the pits is maybe the beginning of our pit stop window again. Like about 19th.
Top 4. I mean, top 3, let's say, really. I mean, they've pretty much well settled in. Doug just crossing the finish line for his 51st completed lap. Right behind him, Val, 0.1 of a lap behind. I believe it's about 9 seconds. And then behind him, by the same gap, just coming across the finish line now, we have Mike Gaglione. Yep, so about 9 seconds behind. So, yeah, each of these drivers are separated by roughly, I mean, call it 7 to 9 seconds a lap. So pretty spread out here at the front, barring any incidents or any oddities. I mean, it looks pretty well settled, but like you said, I guess we are going to have another set of pit stops. So I wonder if the pit strategy is going to get mixed up again. We do know Doug lost a little bit of time in the pits on his first stop versus the other drivers that he was battling for the top 3 positions.
Battle for 4th. Once again, so
Still raging on.
Usual subjects.
Yeah, Joseph able to get going again between them. Some lap traffic, but
those lap cars are also battling themselves. Philip's going to go by Dimitri for 13th. Everybody's battling everybody.
Let's sit in with that for a little bit. 13th place. Dimitri and Philip actually been keeping each other company for quite a bit of time as well. I guess all of these cars have kind of just been stuck in at the same spot 4th to 6th and this 13th and 14th pack, respectively. Dimitri gonna stick it in on the inside or try to focus on getting a good exit like he's done in the past. He should be able to get this done.
Lee Larson's leaving the pits. Seemed like a surprisingly long stop, or maybe he stopped twice, like back-to-back laps. Not 100% sure. He also maybe I'm just not keeping track correctly, but it seemed
entirely possible. We'll blame the settle course for that one.
Yeah, of course.
Marcos on Nathan here, closing the gap as he can have a look inside. He'll bide his time there and try something, I'm sure, in the next couple sets of corners here. Nathan, I'm sure, feeling the pressure from Marcos, who's been really strong in his late race pace. Really right on pace with the leaders. He hasn't been in traffic. Ripped a 14-second, 1 minute 14.87 lap time after that little blunder he had in getting off track. So did really well to catch back up to that 4th place position that he had before.
Michael Koiser in the pits. Val's in the pits. Should be able to make it on this point, from this point, as long as they take a decent amount of fuel. Do we have any other pit takers? 3rd place stays out.
Yep, so Michael's going to get past Val. Val is still in the pits, just waiting for a stop. Marcos and Nathan still battling one another. We do see other cars. So Dimitri now in the pits as well, going for his stop. I imagine Doug will be dropping in for his next stop within a couple laps. Joseph Yang now inherits 4th place as well as Marcos drops to 12th. Wonder if I think he had a pit stop, something like that. To that end.
Pit stop. Might have maybe perhaps an issue.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what happened there. I didn't see.
Last lap time's a 1 minute 15, so I don't really know.
Yeah, must have had a big issue for him to drop that much. I mean, now
he would have almost lost a lap, so maybe he did pit.
Yeah, because I mean,
Daniel's in the pits.
He's right back basically with the lap traffic that he was battling previously, so it must have been a pit stop. Daniel Santibana is now in the pits from 7th place. We'll see where he ends up.
I think he might have overshot his pit stall.
Dropping in the pits there. Jason Selly dropping in the pits now from 9th place. Yep, here's the pit window coming in, so all the drivers are going to be shuffling around. We'll see where it settles.
Todd Marcos coming in.
Yeah, so
interesting.
I wonder what happened for him to drop that much.
Might have had a problem. Who knows?
Yeah, we might have to take a look after and see what the issue was. Val back on track now in 4th place. Nathan Hawkins 3rd now, but yet to pit. Additionally yet to pit, Gaglione, as well as Doug Newman, who's had a very commanding lead over this entire race. We'll see when he boxes, might be over the next couple laps. Let's take a look and see
Gerald Member.
What he does as he comes around the last couple set of corners here.
Yang leaving the pit lane.
Yep, Doug now going in for his stop here with 30 minutes and 35 seconds left in the race.
Gaglione will still have to stop too. I don't know if Nathan will have to stop.
Brady C as well in 15th. Not a bad drive from him to get back up to 15th place. I know he started a little bit further down the pack, so pretty good race from him for his first race here, newcomer. So glad to have him on board. And, hopefully this is just the start and some good results to come.
Gaglione
now taking the lead.
Takes the lead.
Doug just exiting the pits. So it seems like that was about timing it off the top of my dome, probably 20-second-ish pit stop.
Yeah, good guess. No, we have no way of verifying it, so yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take that as fact. Speaking of facts. Speaking of facts.
Well, you can't say speaking of facts, not in fact. Jackson Calavera.
The Fiat 500 seems to be the car of special editions. On top of the Gucci edition. There was also a special GQ edition based off of the GQ magazine Fiat 500C, so the convertible model. Had a, the turbo motor, 5-speed manual transmission, some sporty wheels, and all that fun stuff. and some GQ embossed seats. GQ, the men's magazine, fashion magazine, of course, all about style, and it seems like the Fiat 500 with all of its collaboration seems to be the stylish choice of motor vehicle.
Sure.
And you know, obviously that brings a lot of motorsports credibility.
Right. Yes.
These are just facts.
Yeah, of course.
Michael Hodgins and Michael Gaglione now in the pits. Val back up into second place. And once again, closing that gap a little bit on the pit stops. Now 5.5 seconds to Doug up ahead. Before I believe the pit stop, he was around 7 or 8 seconds. So good amount of time gained on that pit stop from Val. He's not too far down the road from Doug. So, I mean, we'll see how his pace is. Putting in his very strong lap, a 1:14.8 on his last lap. So, you know, maybe he has fresh tires in hand, and we'll see what he can do on the last couple minutes of this race and see if he can catch Doug and take the victory.
Our battle for fourth is still a possibility. Joseph Yang only 2.4 seconds behind Nathan Hodgins.
Another exciting battle. We got 9th place here. Daniel Santibanez on Philip Oliveira. 2/10 between them. Now 1/10. Daniel taking a look. Gonna bide his time. Ooh, dives inside, but really locks up the brakes there and pushes quite a bit. Really compromises his line here. Philip's gonna have a compromised exit based on that line. Yes, he is. And Daniel's gonna zoom right by him and take that 8th place spot. And there it is.
Side by side with Daniel. Ooh, still not quite there.
Daniel took a little bit of curb there, and I think he had to lift because he filters in right behind. I thought that was a sure bet, to be honest, but looks like a little bit too much of that inside curb cost him quite a bit. I mean, he didn't have much room there on the inside, but there was one car width. It is obviously tricky to judge, you know, being on a single monitor, how much room you have the car next to you when you're racing side by side. So, frankly, the fact that these cars can, these drivers can race this closely, basically looking out of a window, is kind of a miracle.
Especially with these high-power cars like the Fiat 500 Assetto Corsa. No, I'm just joking, but it is quite a miracle. Dimitri and Jason are battling. Marcos Martin drives up the inside. He's in 24th. What's happened? Dropped another. I feel like he's dropped another place.
Yeah, I mean, he did have to take that other pit stop, so he was already down in, I guess, 13th or 14th by the time he took that pit stop. So, not sure what happened with him, how far he dropped, or if he had another issue on track. It could be a hardware issue as well.
Could be a hardware issue.
Not really sure. I mean, these are you know, it is simulated racing, sim racing as we call it.
Whoa!
But there is hardware issues. These do happen sometimes.
Dimitri getting a bit sideways as Giuliano pits.
Yeah, Jason and Dimitri side by side here as well. Jason gonna try to get a good exit out of here, but Dimitri's been really strong out of that final corner, be able to carry that momentum onto the straight, although he seems to fall back, and Jason's going to take 11th place. Dimitri now up in 10th. Bunch of traffic there. It's a little
Daniel's gone off track. No. We'll lose 8th.
Oh, Laszlo's doing something.
Uh-oh.
That was
Row. I think we may have a server problem.
I think, did the server just die?
I believe our server may have just died.
Our server may have just taken a poop.
Ruh-roh.
That is what happened.
Tell you what, though. That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know what to say. That's you know, we're over an hour in. Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not on the streaming side. For now, I will go to the splash screen.
Too. And we're gonna give Phil a sec to try and reserve the server to see how that goes. I'll tell you what. As I guess a quick update for our what do you call it? Our viewers, basically. So the procedure we're going with for this series is that. Oh, sorry. 1 second. I'm just doing something. Where we're going with is basically pretty standard FIA rules if a race has gone past half race distance and we have a server issue that we are unable to restart, the race simply continues. Sorry, if we are over the halfway distance, the race simply is scored. It is counted as if the race had completed, even though it will be noted that it is shortened. But if a race does not meet half distance, then obviously the race does not count for points. We basically treat it as null and void. However, this race has gone past the halfway point, so we're going to quickly check with Phil, see if we can sort out the server issues, and if not, then unfortunately that might be the end of our broadcast. We'll stand by. We'll get news to you as we find out about it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, if not, I mean, we do have the finishing positions here, or at least the positions before there was the disconnect. So hopefully, either way, I mean, if we can get it sorted and continue racing, that'd be great. But if not, at least we got most of the way, and we have something to show for it. So yeah, we'll just monitor the issue, and we'll go from there.
Okay, let's get a quick run into the positions as they stand. In the event Phil cannot resolve the server problem, Doug Newman be considered our winner. Gaglione will be scored as second, Val in third. Nathan Hodgins is in fourth, Joseph Yang's in fifth, Jackson Oliveira's in sixth, Michael Koiser in seventh, Dmitry Moshkin in eighth, Paul Todd's in ninth, Phillips in 10th, Daniel Santaban is in 11th, Laszlo in 12th, Jason Selly is in 13th. I just closed the image by mistake. Whoops. Image is back up. Brady's in 14th, Giuliano's in 15th, Randy's in 16th, Anthony in 17th, Lee is in 18th, Thomas is in 19th, Alex is in 20th, my pick, Mr. Nemhard, the GOAT himself, is in 21st, Walter's in 22nd, Alex is 23rd, Marcos in 24th, my man Evan is in 25th, and Brad fortunately scored 26th with the early disconnect. Let me quickly double check with Phil. Let's get an update.
Guess while we wait for the update, I'm going to run some ads and obviously thank our sponsors for putting this on. So our sponsors, Hip Motorsports, 13 Motorsports, Adrena Garage, and of course, Ontario Time Attack. So enjoy the trailers. We will be back. Oh, wow. Okay, here. We are live again. So thank you for that little OTA trailer. Josh does have an update from Philip.
Yes, we
Josh,
do.
go ahead.
This comes from our race control and all of our safety crews. The server unfortunately cannot be restarted. The server actually will not restart. The issue might actually physically be with the server itself. So that sucks. So the race distance has been classified. Or the finishing orders have been classified. Doug Newman is our winner. Let's drag him in a sec to interview him.
Yeah, while we're ready for Doug, it's just want to thank again our sponsors, Hip Motorsports, 13 Motorsports, and Adrena Garage, as well as, of course, Ontario Time Attack. Do we have Doug back in the studio?
I'm trying to work on that right now.
All right.
Okay, there we go. Hello, Doug.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Congrats on the win.
You.
In a weird situation.
I mean,
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, what was the race like? Shouldn't be being pretty dominant throughout the entire race.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I felt pretty comfortable. I didn't think my initial pace on the full tank was going to be that fast, to be honest. I think it's just because Thomas was behind me pushing me that I was really just on it for a while there. Like, I think I was putting in 14.3 to kind of 14.6 range for quite a few laps. And then, it was just one of those things where I just kind of fell into a groove. And obviously, I got really lucky with Val's incident off the start there where he had to do a drive-through. So not that I wish anything bad for him, but, it definitely helped me out.
What happened? Was it just jump start?
Yeah, I think he just jumped a bit.
Yeah, because he seemed to get a really good start and was alongside you for a little bit. So I was wondering, like, oh, did he little fancy clutch slip or what happened? And then saw him go through the pits again. And I'm like, oh, yeah, probably the drive-through, probably a jump start.
There it is. Yeah. Anything about the car? Was it a car you felt was particularly suited to your driving style?
I mean, I grew up driving front-wheel drive cars, and then I eventually made it to an all-wheel drive car, so I felt right at home, which was nice.
I mean, there you go.
But yeah, good characteristics for a car. It's actually really fun being so light and so short.
How'd you find the tire wear was over the stint? Obviously, we didn't get to the whole race distance, but I'm sure the front tires were getting a little rough.
Front left. Not that I was really managing it too much, but you could definitely overheat it if you're throwing in quite a few heaters in a row. And then, tire wear on the front left was pretty bad as well. Some people were talking about doing a double stint on the tire, but as we started getting further on, I think a lot of people abandoned that.
Yeah, from what I understand, I guess talking to a couple folks when they were doing their practice stints for this race, it's like you could do a stint and then you'll get halfway through your second stint, and be like, yeah, everything's fine, and then the tire wear just kind of gets out of hand and they fall off a cliff, and it gets really tough to manage after that, especially because you kind of need the front end grip to get the car to rotate into the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching the times, even like at the end of my stints, like the last kind of 5 or 6 laps, like I was down into a 15.2, and previous to that I was kind of comfortably sitting into like a mid to high 14, so definitely about half a second of loss.
Oh, checking out. The server has apparently fixed itself. Daniel is currently lapping exclusively by himself, but with so little left in the race, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was in VR, so as I was coming, I guess, just through Hook and then up over the hill there, people started flying off into the distance, and all I could hear in my head was like the Harry Potter music. So
I would say on the broadcast, it probably looks hilarious because I think I just jumped in on Lazo because I saw him starting to float, and he skimmed across the track with no wheels and in some quite epic manner. So that's gonna be very funny to watch after this, I'm sure. Yeah, no, I mean, these things happen. We've been pretty lucky, actually, I think, over 4 seasons that we've done this now. This is our first one where we really had a server issue, but, at least we're able to do most of the race distance. And, honestly, like, really, really dominating drive on your part.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't expect it, honestly. I didn't expect to be that quick. I thought there would be some quicker people out there, so I'm really happy about that. And honestly, I'm just happy to be racing with people I usually go to the track with in real life, and I'm glad that you guys are hosting this, so thank you so much.
Stop the presses. Doug will retain his first place spot. I don't think that's up for debate, but we have big news. The results that I screen capped were after the disconnect. The results are actually not accurate. So what I'm doing right now is going back to the stream and capturing the actual results. So the standings will change, but regardless, Doug has won the race.
Yeah, congrats, Doug. And obviously a great, strong start to the season. And, I'm sure you're going to be carrying that momentum into the next couple of races and see what you can do from it.
Yeah, we'll try. I know Val and Thomas and Michael are going to be right there. So
All should be fun. Well, have fun, Doug. Congrats on the win and the weird circumstances. Hopefully, we'll carry the momentum through to next week.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
You too.
Cheers.
There goes Doug. Let's interview with our second place finisher, Val. Give me one.
As we're getting Val, going to be interesting. We just got our final results in, so I'm sure after we interview Val and our third place finisher, we'll get back to you guys with the full results
Here's Val.
before the stream died.
Hello, Val.
Hello,
Hello.
Val.
Finished second.
Bit of an interesting start you had there.
What's your timing and to the
I blame the Red Bull right before the race start. I was jittery.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I got a jump start. And the fun thing about Assetto Corsa is that it's impossible to get a pit speed limit or a pit speed penalty. So you just like throw it into the pits at full speed, and then you get somewhat of the way down to the pits or down the pit lane at a higher speed.
It's the coast move. You just go full yeet, and then the car will just kind of slowly come down to the speed limit.
Yeah, and we found out pretty early that the tree isn't a physical object, so you can sort of shortcut that little tree there. And that jump start lost me only like 12 positions. Like I wasn't as far back as I thought I would have been. It was great race. I had to do a lot of work to get back to where I was.
You had to work your way through the field for sure, and it was that, working your way through races for position as well as lap traffic. So it was very.
I enjoyed it very much. Everybody was well behaved.
Yep. There's a lot of door-to-door action, a lot of fun. Obviously quite a few.
I don't think I would have caught Doug though if the server stayed up. I don't think I would have got him. I think Doug was just every time I would put down some good laps, Doug would respond immediately with something as good or faster.
For sure. We asked Doug how the tires felt for his stint. I know they were starting to get a little bit rough towards the end of the fuel stints. How were they for you?
The same. I think we were, because of like how similar all the strategies were, we were all on the same. Although I don't know how Doug and Michael had almost 2 more laps of fuel than I did, and I even had that drive through. Like I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was weird. I think what was strange too is even we noticed when Doug came in for his first pit stop for whatever reason, you and Thomas were actually able to close in quite a bit of time, as well as Michael. To him, not sure why the pit stop was longer, but you guys.
My dash was basically saying I was only 0.3 of a liter good till the end. So it was like if for some reason we went an extra lap, it was going to be game over.
Yeah. You have to go for the hyper mile on the last lap.
My goodness, I got well, not excited, but like I went into the pits and was totally sure that Doug didn't have enough fuel to do another lap, and I for a second there he wasn't sure either, so I thought it was a game over for him.
Oh man, that would have turned things upside down for sure. But hey, at least you know what, that was a great recovery drive for you to come back to your original qualifying position, especially after that drive-through that you had to take at the start.
Yeah. What a combo! What a combo!
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Thomas Langell, he's not in voice chat right now. We interviewed him a bit earlier. Could you elaborate, Val, as to what in particular happened with his motor?
So he had a single misshift fairly early in the race, and apparently it only draws for the client when it's smoking. So he, for I think the first third of the race, had like a smoking motor. And at some point he just made the same mistake again, and that was game over. It wouldn't move, so he had to take a 200-second penalty, and then move on with his race.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had a little bit of a recovery drive. Unfortunately, got cut short by the server.
Yeah, he's probably still doing work.
Yeah, no, it's cool. All right, well, congrats on the second place. We're going to try and interview our third place finisher. Is he still here? Oh, I don't think he's still here.
Mr. Gaglione?
He's there.
But he's muted and deafened. I'll give him a ring. Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming out, Val. Good luck.
I was happy to do it. It's a great first start to the season.
Yeah, certainly a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming out. That was Val. Let's drag Gaglione in here. Hello.
Hello.
You're in the booth.
I'm in the booth.
You're in third.
Yeah.
How was that?
It feels great. Last endurance series I was like really hell-bent on squeezing every bit of performance and being super competitive, and this time I took a much more survive each race approach, because I don't know if you remember the first race last year, I blew my motor up and then I killed myself on Le Mans with penalties. Like there was just a bunch of different messes I made, and I played patient on this one, and I got basically handed back all the positions I lost off the start by kind of driving my race and finding my rhythm.
Yeah, so what happened at the start there for you? Did you have a drive-through as well?
I just conceded the positions. I had Marcos was being very aggressive, and I was like, I knew he was fast, or at least the same pace as me. I mean, I qualified him, but I mean, in that car, a tenth, you can lose a tenth, by just looking in the wrong direction.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very a clean line is so
Momentum
important.
car.
Yeah, and I knew my actual I laid down a PB in qualifying, and I knew my actual race pace wasn't third place on the grid truly. So I was very happy to give that position up and just try to get into a rhythm with my race. And he ended up making a mistake. I took that position back, and then of course Thomas unfortunately ruined his engine, much like I did last year, first race.
Yeah, so I mean, the patience really paid off for you, for sure. Just keeping a strong pace throughout the race, and just kind of keeping your head down, and just having a nice and quiet, run after the little, I guess, work that you had to do through traffic there. So,
yeah, I mean, the traffic's always interesting. So
for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had a lot of interesting traffic moments in today's race.
Yeah,
good and
I had
bad.
Some sweat.
Yeah, tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, these things bang doors pretty well at least, but like we were saying, like when it gets to the formula cars, oof, it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, hopefully track's a little bigger, and we'll have some straights where the speed difference will be a little bit more, make passing a little bit easier. It was just very hard to pass with these cars.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the moves were done down into turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, like that first sector there.
Yeah,
those were all basically any big moves were all done on the inside there, right?
Pretty much any move, happened through like crown and hook and all that.
Yeah.
It was speaking of looking into the future and like future cars and stuff like that. You looking forward to next week's combo?
I was just checking it out. It's I love Road Atlanta as a track. I've never driven the Ginetta before in a sim or in real life, obviously. But I love Road Atlanta. I've got a ton of time on that track from last year. It was where I put a ton of practice in. So I didn't know this track at all. Obviously, Val and some of the other locals to Ontario had a significant advantage going into this.
I forgot. Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm down in North Carolina in the United States. I had never even heard of this track.
No, it's a cool track. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like the center of attention. It was very challenging, racing, but it's cool.
It was very challenging. I did nearly 400 laps just to get up to pace.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, it's. I mean, Calabogie, it's pretty tight. There's lots of elevation, and obviously in a front driver, it's like, oh man, if you get off rhythm into a corner, it's just and you're coming over a crest, it's understeer city. So it's a lot of like traction management and tire management. And yeah, no, you did great to kind of round off the podium and obviously taking that momentum to next week where you should be strong at Road Atlanta. Ginetta, just for your knowledge, the Super Cup, fun little car. GT4 car, rear-wheel drive dynamic, so very balanced. Last year you were pretty strong, I believe, in the Supra that we had at Fuji, if I recall correctly.
That was my first win.
Yeah, so I think that'll be a good combo for you.
You might enjoy it. It's not quite like the Supra, but it's pretty close. By pretty close, I mean it is a front-rear car that is a race car.
Yeah, I mean they were both GT4s, so.
Yeah, the Ginetta's, I don't think the Ginetta is a true GT4. Well, I think it is GT4 homologated, but nobody really runs it as a GT4. They usually just run it as the Super Cup, which is basically just like a spec series. But regardless, it'll be fun. I hope everybody enjoys it because I chose it because I like Ginettas. 400 laps. That's crazy considering to test this car track combo, I did about 3 laps.
Well, I did a lot while some of the other competitors were running their Daytona. I was keeping them company, and I just would get bored and. Watching other people race, you're just like,
that's a pretty solid idea.
I want to drive a car. So I did a lot of laps yesterday.
A pretty good idea. All right, well, congrats on the 3rd place. Thanks for coming out.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. There he goes. Yeah, that's about it.
Let's we should probably finish off with the results. I guess overall,
yeah, let's get an official results update. Let me read it out for you. So our official winner, completing 58.6 laps, is still Doug Newman. Bit of a change. Val DiPietro going to be scored as 2nd. Gaglione going to be scored as 3rd. Nathan Hodgins is in 4th. Joseph Yang is in 5th. Jackson Oliveira is in 6th. Michael Koiser is in 7th. Philip J. Oliveira is in 8th. Daniel Santabana is in 9th. Dimitri Mochkin, 10th. Jason Selly is in 11th. Laszlo's in 12th. Paul Todd's in 13th. Giuliano Trejo is in 14th. I mean, whose name I forgot. That's unfortunate. Really headed for my guy.
Oh, Brady. Apologies.
Brady, thank you. I wanted to say Braden, but that's my boss's name. Brady. Running 15th. Randy's in 16th. Anthony's in 17th. My man Lee in 18th. Alex Milo in 19th. My pick running 20th in his debut. Gerhardt. We got my man Walter, who's in 21st. Thomas running 22nd. Alex running 20. Alex Shared is in 23rd. Marco Martin's 24th. And Evan is in 25th. And Brett in 26th after a premature departure. That's about everything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, unfortunate that we had to cut her short. But for everyone else who joined in and had a nice little watch with us and kind of enjoyed the race with us, we really appreciate it for you coming around, and hopefully you come back next week and we have a server that doesn't die with 25 minutes remaining in the race.
Yeah, we gotta get on Phil for that. That was not Phil's fault. It's the server fault. It's the reality of Assetto Corsa. But you're running a server with basically about 30 people on it. Assetto Corsa just doesn't like having a lot of people on servers, regardless of what you do to it. But yeah, so next week we're gonna be in the Ginetta Super Cup around Road Atlanta. Should be a lot of fun. Be a good race. I mean, it'll be at Road Atlanta, so I'll have opinions about it, but it should be a lot of fun. I know a lot of the drivers are looking forward to it. It's very much a driver's track. I think that's about it, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, want to thank our sponsors, Hit Motorsports. It's how I play, the sim racing studio in Ajax, who has generously provided some feedbacks and prizes and things for this, as well as 13 Motorsports, also providing prizes for this. They're performance garage based out in Brampton. And Adrena Garage, a new performance shop and mechanic based out in Oakville. They have a nice facility there as well. They've provided some prizes for the drivers as well. So we thank all of them for supporting the series. And of course, Ontario Time Attack for their continued support in putting this on. We thank you guys for joining us. Anything else for you, Josh?
No, that's about it. I mean, this was a pretty fun round. I was hoping everybody was going to enjoy this combo when I thought of it. I made it Calabogie because I know everybody here likes Calabogie. It's just not a lot of people like the idea of driving to Calabogie. It's far away, so I figure why not enjoy it from the comfort of your home. And I'm just really looking forward to next week. I hope everybody likes the Ginetta. Big fan of the Ginetta.
For sure. I mean, I think the feedback was really positive this week with the Fiats around Calabogie, despite them being, I mean, a slower combo that we see. I guess the slowest combo that we're going to see in this series. Obviously a lot of fun and an interesting challenge. So, like you said, Road Atlanta is a driver's track. It's not easy, especially over an endurance race, to maintain a good rhythm around there, especially as traffic comes out in a few key areas, hairpin and into the S's and whatnot. So it's going to be a very interesting race next week. I really look forward to it. Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Well, appreciate everybody coming out for today's broadcast, the inaugural broadcast of Season 4. Looking to, I don't want to commit to anything too far in the future, but as the series director, I'm looking forward to wrapping up this one at about the time where tracks will start opening back up for the spring thaw here in Ontario, and then hopefully maybe doing one, even two of these seasons in the fall of this year. But who knows? I mean, so I think that's about it.
All right.
You want to do the sign off?
Let's sign off. Thanks everybody for watching. This is Jordan Bazugli once again with my man Josh Cronin doing the announcing for OTA Esports, and we are now signing off and wish you guys a great week, and we will see you next Sunday. Take care.
Have a fun week.